Review It TV, welcome back to the channel. We appreciate you tuning in for our next side-by-side Can-Am video. Today we're going to show you guys the roof that we put in. It is by Can-Am. I think it's pronounced the Bimini Roof. We wanted to show you exactly how to install it and what type of modifications you may have to make if you decide you want to go ahead and throw one of your light bars up here with this particular roof. With that being said, we'll be back to show you guys in just a moment. Okay, Review It TV, we wanted to show you guys this roof ahead of time before we get it installed again. We went ahead and installed it ahead of time before this video because we wanted to see what it was going to take. Plus, if you consider adding extra accessories like your bar light or your speakers or anything that might have to attach into the roof area, you're going to want to know how you're going to have to either modify this or make it work. For us, luckily, we only had to do one small modification for this roof in order to have it fit right up against these light brackets. But other than that, it fit on really beautifully, and I think it gives the unit a really good look. So with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the installation process. Okay guys, so you can see it does have the Can-Am label on it. It shows that it is an official Can-Am cover. It's your soft roof. I'll show you guys these little cutouts. This little rubber area was sewed in here particularly so you could cut it out. It did have some dotted lines to show you where to cut the piece of plastic out at. And it's actually like a rubber nylon material. It's really built tough. The reason for cutting these out was to be able to install your whip lights on top of the roof, and then this is the hole that allows the mount for the whip lights to come out of. And if you look on this side, there's another one on this side too, which I previously cut out. So if you guys decide to install whip lights and you do have a particular new model like this Maverick X3, then you may consider cutting those out. You can see that the roof has straps to strap around the bars. Has a nice black nylon type material. And if you look here, you can see that these rivets are kind of tied into the hard part of this roof. This hard part of this roof is actually going to sit towards the front of your unit right next to the light that I have on my unit. So it only takes 2 screws. Guys, this roof is simply fantastic for putting on and off really quick. It takes all of a few minutes. 2 bolts that hold it on, plus your straps that attach to your nylon part of the cover. And then this little clip right here will actually sit up against the roll bars you can see up here. The front of the roll bar where the rear view mirror is, that's where these 2 clips kind of clip in and hold it tight. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this project started. Okay guys, so the easiest way to get this roof installed is to just kind of plop it up here on top of the roll bar, and then you're just gonna kind of take this nylon here, kind of just pull it back like so and kind of flop it over. There's no real pretty way of doing this at first. You're just kind of laying it out to get started. So you'll stretch this side out a little bit, kind of like that, kind of like a pool cover for a swimming pool, and then you'll drag it up as you need to, just like this, kind of keep it loose and ready. So here's the top of the hard cover. So what I wanted to show you guys specifically on here is that this light bar that I have, this is a 52 or 50 inch I believe, stretches all the way across the roll cage, and it has these bigger brackets that kind of raise it up. Well, with this particular roof, those brackets sit right in the line of fire with these edges right here. So they kind of would hit right up against this bracket. So what I did is I took a little diamond blade on a grinder, and I just made some slits right here, as you can see. You can see the slit right up in there. And that slit right there I took with the grinder, and I just sliced it, measured it, and made a little bit of a gap on either side. You can see it on that side as well. So if you look at those are gonna slide right around these brackets right here. So with that being said, if you look in here, you're gonna see this part of the Can-Am, it's like a bar clamp. It's gonna sit right up here, right over the center of this, and that's gonna kind of help it rest in place. So we'll go ahead and slide it up real easily, and then you'll see that my brackets are gonna rest right inside this area right here. And perfect. See how beautifully that sits? It's gonna take these 2 screws right here. If you look closely though, I'll move this back again. You can see these little indentions right here. It's not indentions, but the indentions within the side dismounting hole. That little hole with those little tiny indentions are gonna ride up into the thread of this particular clamp. You got a couple washers, small washers, 2 small washers and 1 big one. So once you pull this roof up and you slide it right where it needs to be in place, then when you put your screws in with the washer just like this, they're gonna fall down inside the hole there. And the particular threads, and I'll do it completely in just a moment, will sink into that hole with those little rivets that you've seen. So I'm gonna go ahead and stretch the rest of my roof back a little bit right here, just to kind of more or less see where I want to rest it before I get both of those screws mounted. Make sure my side here is rested upright. I can look right down in here to see if my holes are lining up perfectly. Once you get your holes lined up perfectly, then basically, and don't lose your little washers, they come off easy, but it's 2 small washers and then 1 big one. And you can add washers of your own as needed. So once we line that hole up, and this guys can be a little bit tricky at first, but once you do get it in the hole right, they kind of just lock in place like this. You see it's tightening. I'm gonna go tight and bam. Look at that. This roof does not move at all tight. That lays down just like that. So I'm not gonna show you the other side, but it's only 2 of these. Put them in, you'll feel them lock in. When you're giving it pressure and you're turning, don't force it, because you could break this little ring off. So just kind of easily twist it. You'll feel it lock in place. You put that down and voila, roof is in place to start. I'll go ahead and put this other one on. These little bowls are handy, the magnet bowls. You can keep them on your roll bars with your screws, things like that. So this one too, just so easy, boom, in place, ring down. Now look, see how this roof sits? Doesn't move at all. And these little rivet buttons that hold the nylon to the plastic are really nice. They're not cheap material. So you see the rest of the roof is just kind of self-explanatory. We're just gonna stretch it out, and then we'll get the Velcro straps that come on right here on either side. You can see there's one here, and then there's gonna be a couple in the center, and that's what's holding this up. That'll go around the center bars. And guys, that hole that I was explaining to you guys about for your whip lights is this one that I showed you earlier in the video. As you can see right here, this is my whip light mounting bracket, and I have that to where this comes and stretches right over it, just like so. So when I actually want to put my whip lights on and the roof is completely installed, I can simply take my whip light. Now guys, wow, I might not have enough room to put it on here because we're in the garage and this sits up so tall. I gotta find which, there it goes. Perfect. All right, so the whip light's actually touching the roof, as you guys can see, so I don't have no room to really install these in here. That's why I'm having a hard time getting it on. Other than that, they'll just pop in place with that little fitting with no problem. There we go. And then put my cover back on and we're good. Okay guys, since you were able to see how you're gonna put the cover over your whip light bracket, let's go ahead and start the first straps here. Real simple. You wanna kind of just stretch this out. You know, you want to get the wrinkles out a little bit before you start tying these nylon straps. They're going to kind of wrap around the bar backwards like this. They'll go through this, then you're going to pull this down, get it where you kind of want it, where it sits nice, and you're going to just simply push it up like that. And then as you can see, it just sits and it holds this seam down over the bar evenly. So once you do that, you want to come and probably start doing some of these ones. And you want to stretch this back a little bit before you do it. This one's the same way. You're just gonna go through that little tiny area up there. And doing this one-handed isn't always easy, but see how that's gonna wrap like that? So you wanna kind of look up top too, because you don't want this to be uneven. And when you're doing the center ones in the center of the roof, don't pull them so hard, because where you're gonna actually pull the slack out is on the side. If you tie those too tight in the center, then what it does is it kind of wrinkles this up when you're trying to stretch it this way. So what we'll do is we'll go around to the other side now, because you want to kind of do the front of either side evenly at a time, so that way the wrinkles come out evenly. So what we'll do is we'll get this one. That will simply go through like that. Stretch this down a little bit, nice and tight. Pull that up. There it is. Under here's the next one that we did, like on the opposite side. Gonna come through, get it through the little tiny slot here, which can be, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get it if you can't see. Make sure, like I said, you're pulling your roof back a little bit. Kind of stretch it. Now look up here, guys, if you can see. You see these wrinkles? You want to kind of just pull this stuff back like that. Now you can see that the wrinkles are starting to come out. Then just pull your strap a little bit tight, not too tight in the center, and bam. Now we can come to this next one right here. Pull this down, so that way this comes and rides the edge of the roll bar nicely, gives it an even look. kind of pull this and reach back in the center at the same time, adjusting till you see where you like it, then just kind of wrap it up just like so. All right. Okay, so you can see we have another one here. That one's gonna go through the center of my speakers. We're gonna kind of just get that through the slot there if I can, just like so. You wanna kind of pull this. And I'm not gonna do that one too tight because I might have to come back and readjust. So you also have these two small straps. There's one on this side and there's one that goes to the other side. If you guys stay there, I'll just walk around and show you. Another one right here. That one kind of sits over the roof. And I gotta get it up to here. And pull it around like that. Little tiny clip here. I'm not even looking, I'm just kind of feeling, guys, so work with me. Just like that. This is just something that kind of sits on the roof. Has a little button. I'm not sure exactly what this is for. Maybe you can hold something, some type of accessory. Then it also comes with a sticker right through, but you can see where the two plastic kind of clamps or whatever you would call these brackets rest right on the center above your rear view. It doesn't affect your rear view. And overall, it gives it a nice good look. But now what you're gonna do is your whip lights, once again, you're gonna kind of stretch this a little bit tight. This is gonna be kind of set up for you and you can run it through the little clips if you don't like the way it comes. So you're simply just gonna pull this, and if you come around to this angle, you can see it's just gonna kind of sit just like this. You wanna kind of straighten this so you have a straight look to it. And what I would do is just get it started before you actually get it too tight. You want to kind of just stretch it down, not too much pressure, but enough to where if you look up here, you can see that this is kind of tightening up nicely. Then you'll come right here and you'll just finish pulling that around. Gives it a straight, nice look just like that. Opposite side, same thing. You want to get this side done. Now pull this. Pull that down a little bit. Got nice and tight. Just a second, guys. I got my cabling for my radio here too, and I don't run it so tight in case I need to adjust it. Okay, so then pull it tight again. Same thing with this one. Just gonna simply go down on the bar. I want to try to get this to look straight and stretch down on it. Get your thing in the clip first before you actually fit it to where you want it. Kind of stretch it just a little bit. Look at that roof. You can see how pretty much nice it is. Then we're gonna go ahead and tighten this. It's just gonna wrap around like the other one, just like so. Gives it a clean look. You can see that both sides, and it has my little cap, just like that. So that protects the dirt from getting inside the little fitting for your whip lights. But it also fit perfectly where I have my speakers there, and I can actually tighten that down a little bit. If you guys come look from this angle, you can more or less see that everything sits under there completely done. The straps mount easily and they all fit in place. And this is a 4-seater model, so I think I like it. And it's quite a bit different in price as opposed to your hard roofs. It's gonna be a lot cheaper. So if you guys are interested in this roof, check it out in the description box below. I'll stick a link on there so you guys can find it easily. You've seen how easy it is to install. I appreciate you guys tuning into the channel here. We've got another accessory, and I'll show it to you guys real quick that we're gonna install here in our next side-by-side video, so that way you guys can kind of see what the forecast is. So I'll show you that in just a sec. Okay, next video forecast, we've got the chase light here. This chase light actually is really cool. I'll give you guys a quick little preview of it before the next video. So if you're liking the videos and you're liking the channel, tune in, guys. If you'd consider subscribing, I'd appreciate that. I do a lot of hard work, and our cameraman does a lot of hard work to get these videos out to you guys and to give you guys a little bit of inclination of how this stuff works and how you can install it yourself. So I thought that this particular light would be cool. It's a 30-inch chase light. We have some special brackets we ordered because we want to be able to install this without having it so close to the bar. Plus these two speakers are in the way anyway. But you guys can see that this thing comes with everything. It has the complete wiring harness, has the rocker switch for the strobes on here because these are going to strobe like police lights for your chase lights, and then it has secondary connections and stuff. So I'm not going to give you guys too much information. If you guys want to see this and you were planning on getting one of these, I'm going to show you guys how to install this and to get around your roof area, and the fact that your back roll bar curves like a horseshoe in this sense down here. So you don't have a straight bar on these newer 20 and 21 models. So we'll show you guys the brackets we're using to install this in our next video. Tune in, subscribe to Review It TV. Like I said, link in the description below for this roof, and we'll see you guys next time.